All right, I'm back. Can you guys see me again? And hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Hmm? Gifford, can you hear me and see me? Oh, wait,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, man,
I
I hear.
can't hear you. All right,
Oh,
okay. All right.
let's
Let's
see. I hear you now.
Yes. Talk again, Gifford.
Ah, yeah, I hear you now, sir. Why, I cannot hear you, man.
Oh, I turned it off. My bad. Okay. All right. So, as I was saying, let me do this again. So, we're not going to be doing the user interface of Revit and going through it from scratch. So, I'm going to automatically assume that some of us know some of these things already, and we're kind of going to be diving into continuing to work on our project, right? So let me bring up the mirror board. All right, so the last time I was working on that project with you guys. Let's see, here we go. Yeah. And this is where we were. So everyone should by now have their schematic drawings done. I wonder if it's safe to assume so. So now we're going to build on top of this by going into Revit. So I'm going to fire my Revit up right now, and I want you guys to do the same. Da-da-da-da. All right, so I have a question to ask here. Uh, yeah. Mhm. All right, Dominique, you there?
Yes, sir.
So tell me something. You guys are about to embark on your design studio um project. This is for your housing project. So when you start to flesh out for you, this is not like what this is just your opinion or your experience. When you want to work on a project, you're about to start a new project, whether it's a housing project or a pavilion or something. Where do you normally start, Dominic? You start from a sketch, or you draw it in SketchUp, or you just go straight into Revit blank page and start drawing walls? What is your process?
Sketching is usually the first step. Sketching.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And you do your sketching digitally or like
Oh
on
no,
paper?
on paper.
All right. Then what do you do after that?
I mean, like, what do you mean, sir?
Yeah, so you're progressing. So now you need to do your floor plans, right? All right, let me skip to the end. So you use Revit to to develop your drawings or maybe your model and all that stuff?
Yeah, usually.
Okay,
If I
cool,
have the
cool.
sketches with the dimensions ready and stuff, then yeah,
All
it's just to
right.
transfer them.
So my question is, so how do you go from the sketch that you did in your sketchbook to the drawing that you do on Revit?
Well, as I said, like, I'll sketch in my sketchbook.
Uh-huh.
map out what dimensions each line would take and then basically replicate it.
And then replicate it in Revit. Cool,
Mm.
interesting. All right. Let's hear from two more people. Who wants to volunteer? Or you want me call name like I usually call name? Oh, Gifford, I see you with your hands up. You want to tell me your process?
I sketch it, take a picture of it, and then put it into Revit and trace over it.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. So you put it into Revit. All right, no problem. Anybody else with a different approach? Anybody model it in 3D, like in SketchUp?
Uh, so I tend to use SketchUp to help the process along, yeah.
In the early phases.
Yeah, and then uh I yeah, SketchUp and then Twinmotion.
Oh, so you got Twinmotion even before you go
Yeah,
to
sometimes to
like
get a sense of scale sometimes and
mm-hmm,
how a final
mm-hmm,
render would look, I'll like put it into Twinmotion a little early and then I'll go
mm-hmm.
back to Revit to like finish everything.
To start to put in the details. Okay, got you,
Yeah.
got you, got you. All right, cool, cool. Anybody do design and everything in Revit? Even the sketch, everything. Anybody? That's an all Revit user.
We have one in our class, but I
Yes,
don't know.
sir.
They're here. Yeah, they're Adrian.
Ah, Adrian. All right. So you actually do your sketching starting in Revit?
Basically, yes, sir. I
Oh,
started
cool.
recently because I left from CAD and been
Ah,
using Revit for a couple of months now.
oh, cool, cool, cool. Are you a legacy CAD person? Meaning,
We call legacy, sir. I just
ah,
saying stone.
I'm not calling you old. Meaning
I
that
learned to
you
use
use
CAD.
CAD to produce
Yeah,
like easier regular workflow to produce drawings.
yeah. I learned to use CAD from 2014, so it was what
Mm-hmm.
I was using up until earlier this year.
Ah, okay, cool, cool, cool. All right, cool. All right, well, that is definitely hmm, well, before I go, anybody okay, is there anybody who doesn't use Revit in their process? Let me just go the other way. Okay, I think okay, cool. Spooner, what's your process? And Mohammed,
Just haven't had the chance to.
you oh, your voice is so soft. I have to turn up my mic. Say that again. I mean my headset.
Oh, sorry, that might be my mic. I was just saying that I just haven't had the chance to.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. So then so what does your design process look like?
Just sketching and then moving from sketching to constructing it. And then just
And, and
that's it.
what do you produce in? Let me ask it that way. What do you do your
Again,
produce your drawings in? What program?
well, it
If any.
depends.
If any.
It depends.
SketchUp?
I suppose, CAD.
Okay, and you use CAD as well. Okay, cool. SketchUp. Okay. So your last design, your last studio presentation, you use SketchUp and CAD. Is that what I'm to assume?
Well, not SketchUp, but yeah.
Well, CAD. All right, cool. Alexia.
Well, sir, I usually start by drawing on my iPad. So I would use
Cool.
Procreate and Concepts.
Ah, okay.
So
Cool.
it would I usually use it to help me figure out not how the building would look exactly, but like the floor plans.
Mm-hmm.
So I draw the floor plans on there, and then I would go to Revit, but I recently started using Vectorworks because I find it's a little easier to do 3D modeling in there.
Oh, interesting. Cool.
So, and then I'd take it to Twinmotion for
Okay.
realistic renderings. But sometimes I will use the Revit rendering and just take it into my iPad and kind of use like add in shadows and people and stuff, kind of similar to Photoshop.
All right, cool. So, okay. So you start digitally and then so pretty much you're producing Vectorworks. You could almost say.
Recently, yes, but in second year I was using Revit, but
Yeah,
I
'cause
would render on my iPad still.
okay, cool, cool, cool. All right, and Rochelle, what do your process look like?
For me, sir, I always start my sketchbook. Like I still use my sketchbook very regularly.
Right.
From there, sometimes I could take I could do a sketch of a floor plan because I do a lot of curves. I could do a sketch of a floor plan
Okay.
and take scan that, take that, put that into AutoCAD, like regular 2D AutoCAD,
Mm-hmm.
and do some line work and so on. Bring that over to Rhino because my main program is Rhino.
Ah,
And
okay,
from
interesting.
there, yeah,
Mhm.
from there I could model, pull everything up, do sections and floor plans and so on, and then finish everything in Illustrator.
Illustrator for your floor plans. Nice. So therefore so you don't use Revit? I mean, you use Revit to do the assignments, I figure, but in your regular production,
So
it's
far, I'm yet to incorporate Revit, but I am familiar with Revit. I am very
mm-hmm.
much so familiar with Revit.
Okay, cool, cool,
Yeah,
cool.
AutoCAD, Rhino, and Illustrator.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, um, one thing I can tell you though, guys, is that in this field of architecture, you need two types of modeling programs, right? And I kind of giving away a little bit to the guys who present in modeling, right? But anyway, so you definitely need something that can that has AEC features. AEC means architecture, engineering, and construction. So what do I mean by AEC features? Window, door tool, wall tool. You know what I mean? When you put in a door, you can choose to open the door, close the door, change the height of the door, that kind of thing. So they kind of give you parameters in order to model, right? So that is one. Then the next thing, I'm gonna put this one. Here we go. There we go. Right. This is how I write on my chalkboard, right? So AEC, I'm gonna say features. This isn't a particular software, right? So I'm gonna call this tools needed. No, I'm gonna say recommended because everybody is different, right? For architecture, production, right? So I'm gonna say, so you need something with AEC features. And when I say AEC, I'm talking about window, door, wall, roof, I don't know, slab. These are some common things in architecture. Now, you also need, if you want to have a strong repertoire of tools, I'm going to call it general purpose modeling, right? And this is tools that you can do. I'm just going to say create outside the boundaries of AEC tools, right? So it's kind of what you have you have one tool. Let me put this one over here in a nicer color because that's how we roll, right? So put this one over here, right? So on one side, you want to be within this zone of having all your architectural tools. So you're talking about Vectorworks, Revit, even AutoCAD, ArchiCAD. All of these programs that kind of give you this framework of which to fit all your different types of architectural elements in. That's why it's called AEC, Architecture, Engineering, and Construction Features. So whenever you draw, back in the day of using CAD, you used to draw like individual lines, right? Which Russell would know about. But nowadays, you just draw using a wall tool and then you insert a window and then bam, it already cut the wall and put in the window for you. That is the AEC features. Now, you also need general purpose modeling because not some things are actually harder to draw within the AEC tools. Sometimes you just want to create something that's non-architectural, maybe just to explore it. And these are programs like SketchUp and Rhino and Blender and 3ds Max and I don't know, give me some more. Maya and all of these other programs, because they allow you to model outside of the architectural kind of AEC boundaries, which gives you more freedom. But if you were trying to build, for example, something architectural, it maybe would take you much longer. So it's like you need to balance these two worlds together, right? You need one program in each category. Now, in each category, you have different levels. So for example, for general purpose modeling, you have like 3ds Max. That is advanced. But then on the lower end now, on the simpler end, you would have SketchUp. So you can have anywhere in between, right? But that is considered your general purpose modeling tools. Now, I would say that you should invest in having one of each before you invest in having many in one. So for example, let's say you use AutoCAD, but then you also use Revit, but then you also use Vectorworks. All of that is still within the AEC kind of category, right? So you need to have one of both. Now, apart from this, now you also need to have, let's put this one in. Oh, come on. There we go. Put this one in green. You also need to have rendering / presentation production. All right, I'm going to put software. All right, so a general purpose modeling software and AEC featured software. All right, so now, of course, for this, I'm sure you guys do DDM already. So, Ned, give me some examples of programs that you would use in this category of rendering presentation software.
Photoshop.
Exactly. Give me another one. Garden.
Sir, Lumion, sir.
Garden the cat. Right, Lumion. Right, and so forth. I'm not even going to go into the details here because this is an area that I'm sure you guys are familiar with, right? It extends to Illustrator, InDesign, all of those kind of programs. So you need to have something in that category as well, right? Now, there is another one I'm going to put here. And I'm even going to, if I was to order this, so if I was to say that this is one, maybe this is the order of your production. Some people, everybody kind of designs a little differently. So let me put 3 here. You need one over here, right? And this one is a kind of interesting category because it doesn't really have a software. It's not a particular type of software like these, but it's more of a process. And it is called Schematic Design. I won't put software, but I'm gonna put method. Right? And I'm gonna put this as step 0, if there's such a step. So this is you having a way of being able to freely, this is the key for this category. It's not about the features of whatever method you want to use. It is about the ability for you to have a flow from what is in your brain out into what your fingertips and into the mouse or pencil or whatever you use. So for example, this could be paper, right? Just like who said the paper again? Was it Dominique? Right, Dominique and Spooner, right? That use the paper to do this. But at the same time, some persons use, like Mr. Russell went straight into Revit to do your schematic designs, right? And at the same time, you had was it Alexia that use the iPad? I can't. My
Yes,
brain
sir.
is yes, right. So we're talking about, let's call this digital sketch, right? And even if I add my experiences in there, I don't like these. I prefer the wiggly ones like that. Yeah. Like I remember the first place that I worked at, that was right out of school, right? I remember I got my you know how I picked up my first job, guys? In my final year crit. One of the architects that came to the crit, Mr. Clifton, yeah. Yep. He came up to me and said, like, I need some things done like what you presented. Right? So I got hired out of design studio. So what does that tell you? All right. You're marketing yourself. It literally happened to me. Anyway, so I remember he used paper, right? As a matter of fact, let's just say that his sketches were very, like the way that he would conceptualize things is in art piece, right? So he actually did a kind of, it's not watercolor, but it's more Prismacolor sketch. Anybody remember Prismacolor?
Of course, sir. We still use them.
Ah, good. Exactly. So he used actual pencil crayons, right? And he did his drawings on paper. And then that was the schematic design that he had to work out. And then we would translate it to the computer, right? Me, for example, I am a digital sketching person. So I will use I will even use Mirrorboard. Doesn't matter. I also use the iPad. I use OneNote to sketch sometimes, and sometimes I go by paper. Now, remember, you see, this phase is not about the software. It's about the program that gives you the most fluidity. Like, if you have an idea, I'm gonna tell you this, guys. Sometimes you'll have an idea for something and you need to get it out. because it will evaporate if it stays in your brain too. You know, at least for me, it will evaporate. I need to get it out quickly. Sketch, modeling. So for example, one of the architects that I work with, they actually do schematic design in SketchUp, right? And this is, I guess, a form of digital of 3D modeling, I guess, but they actually draw up the concept in 3D as well. And just the point is that when he does it, he can easily go from what is in mind to what is in SketchUp. As long as you can do that, then that's the process. Now, if you find that there's a pause, like let's say, I finally figured out how to do my entrance, and then you grab your iPad or you grab your paper or you grab your Revit, and then you're like, okay, where's the button that gives me the line? Okay, here's the line. By the time you're done with that, the idea has evaporated out of your brain, and then you've lost it, right? So I don't know if this happens to you as well, but in the design field, right, there's a thing called flow, and I won't get into the psychology of it right now, but basically it's like a fleeting thing that you need to grab before it goes away. And guess what? You guys are learning, so don't feel any way if you're stumbling on trying to find a program in this realm. The key thing is that you need to find one before you leave CSA, right? Find your go-to for schematic design, whatever method you use for schematic design, because this has to be plugged directly to your brain, right? And it doesn't matter even if it's paper, because at the end of the day, whichever methods you pick, they all have to, let's see, let's use right. I think this best illustrates it. They all have to go into this box, right? So if it's a colored pencil or whatever, maybe you need to scan it. If it is SketchUp, maybe you export it. You know what I mean? If it is a digital sketch, then you need to have a way to export it. But they all need to go into production, right? And production in architecture is where you get paid, right? At least the bulk of your money. So, when you come into this box now, like, this is the trifecta. Everybody needs to have this. And nowadays, I would say you need to have it digitally. I'm not against like hand drawings and everything like that. But from a realistic standpoint, if you guys are going out into the industry out there, 99.999 persons out there will be using some kind of digital tool, a digital office. So you need to have your architectural program. You need to have a program that if you need to create some kind of weird, interesting thing, you can. And you need to have something to do your presentations and ideas. All right. Okay. So any questions on this, guys? Shanique, you good? You understand? Are you there, Shanique? No? Didn't have your tea yet, Shanique? What about Mia?
Yes, sir, understand.
All right, cool. Now, let's keep track of where we're going. We are still at the design phase of this project that we're doing here now, right? So in this design phase, we know we have designed something. Now I used my what's it called? Mirror board, my digital whiteboard, to create my elevation and section. I think I accidentally moved it and kind of messed it up a little bit. Crap. Yeah, totally messed it up a little bit here. I will try and correct it. I think it's something like that. And then this was something like that. Anyway, now what I want you guys to remember is that this process that we're doing now, you are also going to be doing it for your studio project. All right. You're going to have to conceptualize some stuff. You're going to have to show stuff in your Descript, but eventually you need to carry that thing into production. All right. Now for our building here, we're going to use a recommended step because we're going to use specific softwares to do what we're doing. But when you go off on your own, you know, of course, you're free to use whatever. So if you're not like a Revit fan to move from the schematic stage to the actual production, you know, and you want to use a different program, fine. But for the 3D modeling module, we're going to be using Revit as the choice, primarily because it is like pretty much the industry standard. All right, I'm going to put this over here and I'm going to put this nice and big. Remember, you guys can come on this board anytime to review some of the things that we spoke about. All right, so now we have our sketch, and you guys all did your sketch in different applications or different methods. Now we're going to carry it into Revit, right? And in this instance, for us, Revit is going to be like a kind of filter, right? So let me grab one of these. So let's say that right. So let's say that we did our sketch. In whatever program. But over here, we need to do our AEC modeling, right? Where we create like the windows, the doors, the roof, all of that stuff. So we need to go from sketch to modeling. But what we're going to do is insert a phase between these two. Because if you think about it, some of us mentioned that we take a picture of our sketch, we take a photocopy, and then we put it into Revit. Now, maybe going from that phase, we start to draw using our wall tool and start to map out the spaces. I am going to insert something between that, and I'm going to call it sketch refinement. Now the reason I call it, maybe I shouldn't call it sketch refinement. It's more like design refinement. Now, if you look at my design here, I mean, it is like a sketch, but it's not exactly like, is this really 20 feet? Compared to this, which is 5 feet, maybe not, because this looks like about half of the 20 feet. Are you guys seeing that?
Yes, sir.
So what can happen is that when you have your sketch and you carry it into Revit, your sketch can be so far off from reality, and Revit or a program like Revit, they have so much what's the word features, let's call it features, that some of your initial design intent can get lost when you're trying to take this initial sketch and carry it to drawing production. And the reason for that is because, like, literally, if I take a picture of this and carry it into Revit, and I actually start to you know, trace this, I'm gonna realize, oh, wait a minute, this wall is like 1 foot thick. You know, like if I draw this thing 5 foot, it's like a little sliver, and it can barely hold the width of a window. It's like you start to pick up these things, and what I recommend is for you not to pick these things up in a fully fledged AEC environment, because they're gonna what AEC does for you is that it gives you rules to operate by, and it's going to give you like a whole bunch of rules that sometimes might your initial design might get lost. And this is how, I mean, it even happened to me. Like when I did my initial designs of my project, it was, and I imagined that it would look awesome and beautiful, and I look on the reference photos and you say, yeah, this is what I want to look like. But as soon as you jump and you started to create that model in the drawing environment, it just ended up being a box, right? And one way we can avoid losing some design elements is to insert like I call it a sketch refinement. Because what happens now, when you go to sketch refinement, this reveals a lot of the misconceptions that the original sketch had, and you can refine it in this environment before you go into an AEC modeling environment. Because in the AEC modeling environment, like when you draw a wall and you realize, oh crap, my sketch was too small, and then you say, okay, I need to make this wall bigger. No, I mean to make this, no, this is too small. But when you're doing those adjustments, you have to do it using the full AEC tool set. And then you're automatically going to be start to give like some, okay, no, but if you're using a wall, what type of wall do you want to use? What is the thickness of the wall? Oh, no, you can't make this wall intersect because it's an error, because the wall is not supposed to intersect like that. So you're getting all of these things while you're trying to refine your design. So at the same time, it is not, I don't recommend trying to refine your design in Sketch, because ultimately you're going to go to digital production. And if you invest too much in sketching outside of like a tool set that guides you with measurements and dimensions, and it can be a little risky when you're ready to start producing and you realize, oh crap, this sketch was way off in reality. So what I recommend is that what we're going to do in 3D modeling is, from our initial sketch, we're going to refine the sketch before we start to model. And this is something that I recommend for all of you guys. It doesn't have to be in Revit, but we're just going to do it in Revit for our example. All right. And then we go on to AEC modeling. All right. So let me highlight this there. So this is what we are going to be looking at today. Back. I don't like the yellow. How about blue? No, that blue looks weird. Zachary, what color should I use for this thing here? Give me a quick suggestion. Are you there, Zachary?
Yes, sir. Can keep it blue.
Can keep it blue? Maybe light blue, perhaps? I don't know. No,
No, sir, not that blue. Not that blue.
Yeah, it's pulling my eyes. Is it pulling your eyes to the blue and the orange? All right.
Yeah, we're not feeling it, sir.
All right, you know what? When in doubt, go to gray. All right, so this is what we're going to be doing today, sketch refinement. Now, to do that, we're going to actually jump into Revit, which might be kind of weird, because I'm saying don't jump into the full AEC modeling, but yet we're jumping into Revit, which is like full on AEC modeling. So in Revit, we're actually going to do the sketch refinement in what's called a drafting view. And drafting view is kind of this little, it's like a little sketch pad. Okay, no, I don't want to describe it as that. Or you could describe it as you're kind of you're in a little corner sketching. And you don't have to worry about levels and wall type and I don't know, and all of these things that you'd have to think about if you're drawing like a window or door or a wall. You don't have to worry about those things because you're just in your zone of sketching, right? And I can tell you the secret, guys, whenever you're designing at the early stage, the more tools you have is the more you kind of give your brain more distractions at the early stage. Everybody is different. Some people can handle having a toolbar of 50 tools. Other people, they just want to see 2 tools. And some people don't want to see any tools. They just want to draw, right? But the general idea is the more tools you have is kind of the more distractions you have, all right? All right, so we're going to jump into Revit, and I'm also... It is now 9. This finishes at 11, right, guys? Am I right?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. All right, so I want you guys to open Revit. And because I'm at the doorway for Revit now, I need to communicate some. I want to use this opportunity to communicate things about Revit. Firstly, it is impossible to learn Revit. Revit is such a deep program that you could spend your entire life learning it, but there is more to do. The trick is that learning 80% of it, 80%, 70, 80, about learning 80. You ever hear about the 80-20 rule? You know, you just need 20% of the work to achieve 80%, or you just need, or whatever. Or sometimes getting to 80% is quick, but that last 20% is impossible. So you can kind of think of Revit like that, like the 80-20 rule, right? So I'm gonna stick these in little sheets so that we can kind of break this down. Here we go. Stick this one here. Right. So I'm gonna use this here. So I'm gonna say being competent in Revit. Make this bold, make this bigger. Let's not be boring. Let's pick a color. And I'm going to call this part I'm going to say everything in Revit. Right. And we're going to put this down like that and like that. And I'm going to put this one in like orange or something, right? All right, so this is what I'm saying, guys. So this 80%, you can achieve this. You can achieve this before you leave CSA. This is what you need to be proficient. This 20%, oh man, like out of this 20%, I am probably about 5% already. All right, and I left CSA a while back, and I've done many projects in Revit, and I'm just at 5%. Do not try to attempt this while you're in school. But this, you can easily achieve this. By the time you get to the end of what our journey that we were discussing, let me try and bring it up back. Gifford, you have a question?
Yes, sir. That 20%, what does it really entail? Like extracting the information, the modeling and stuff?
No, that 20% is how do you describe that? Okay, do you guys know about the Houses of Parliament competition that was done a couple years ago?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right, right. So one of my good friends from CSA, he works at the firm that won that competition, which was Evan Williams, Design Collaborative, which the principal is Evan Williams, right? And pretty much my good friend from CSA is like the, well, you know, one of the main guys in the office that does overall just has the most experience, right? And he uses Revit like sometimes I can't remember, like guys, I don't really use like compared to how he uses Revit, is I call him all the time, yo, I have class in the next 5 minutes. How in the world do I convert this to that? It's not working. And he was like, oh yeah, just click this button or whatever. And I'm like, duh. You know, that happens all the time. Even though I've done drawings in Revit, right? And he knows so much more. Now, when the firm won that competition, right? I wonder if he got a bonus. I need to ask him, you know. But anyway, when the firm won that competition, they had to work with an overseas firm, right? In order to get all the drawings and everything done. And so he had to actually fly out to work in the office of one of those firms. And when he went there, he was like, yo, I don't know nothing in Revit. I'm not even worthy of opening the program. And that was his definition of it. Now, I am asking him for like questions when it comes to advanced Revit stuff. And that is what he's saying. About 15 years into his career. So what I'm trying to say, guys, is that I have no problem producing drawings in Revit. All of that is wrapped up in the 80%. The 80% is being able to produce something that is of value. The 20% is lifelong learning, right? So for some people, that 20% is like, maybe it's advanced features in Revit, like using macros. I don't know if you guys know what macros is, but basically if you need the program to do something and it doesn't support the feature, you can program in your own feature. That other 20% could be like discovering that, I mean, Revit has a whole section for mechanical and electrical. Like I've never used those features before, and I've used Revit how many years? And my good friend that I told you about, he does full-on production drawings in Revit that sends to parish council for approvals and permit and all of that. But he has never used the mechanical electrical side of Revit. So that's what I'm just pointing out, that it's not a particular feature that is 20%. It is just that there are things that is not really critical for you to learn right now, and you might discover it later on. But you don't need to know this 20% to produce things in Revit. Maybe like when you're like an expert now, then maybe. So I don't know if that answers your question, Gifford. Because it's not tied
to some extent, you know.
Right, it's not tied to a particular feature. It's just product. How can you produce something that is productive? Your end goal. If your end goal is that I need to produce my floor plans for my design studio, and you were able to produce those floor plans, then for you are building this your competence in Revit. All right. Now I want to remind you guys of this, because Revit is so kind of all-encompassing. We broke it down over these 4 years, and you kind of did the intro already. Now we're doing modeling in Revit. All right. So we're not going to jump into every single feature in this module, because we're going to leave some for next year when I see you guys again. And we're going to do the AEC tools. And we're going to do some collaboration.
So I think Adrian had a question, sir.
Say again?
I think Adrian has the other question.
Oh, hold on. I didn't see a hand. Yes, Adrian, go ahead.
No, sir, never mind. It was just related to the mechanical side of it, but never mind, sir.
Right. So when I open the program now, I want to just take the opportunity to introduce you to the different universes. That's what I call it, of Revit, really, right? And where is my pen? Here it is. As a matter of fact, I'm not gonna draw on the screen. I'm just gonna take a snip and I'm gonna stick it on our chalkboard here. There we go. And these guys here, you have architectural. Let's make that yellow and semi-transparent, and let's put a red outline maybe. Right, so we have architectural, we have structural, we have electrical, we have HVAC, that's like your heating and cooling, right? And we have plumbing. Like each of these are industries in itself, right? Just like how architecture is industry. Please, guys, the world no longer revolves around the architect, right? An architectural world, right? Nowadays, the world just revolves around the client, I believe. That is what it revolves around. So we are just one piece in this 5-piece puzzle, just one piece. And this one piece that we are a part of, let's just say you guys are here in BIM and you guys are learning, you know, how to use Revit. You are only venturing into this section. You're only venturing into this section of the program, all right? Like you'd have to go and start school all over again for another 5 years to not venture into this part of the program. Like it requires a whole, like, it's its own universe, all right? Now, the idea is that in Revit, all of these professionals use the same software. That is the utopia that Revit is trying to present. Now, traditionally, these guys use different programs. So for example, the structural person, they you know, maybe that office uses AutoCAD. And traditionally, pretty much all of these offices used to use AutoCAD, right? But now HVAC, maybe they have their own HVAC program that I don't know about, right? Plumbing, maybe they have some kind of plumbing program, right? Adrian, you have a question, your turn.
Can make Gifford go first, sir. He had his hand up before me.
All right, go ahead, Clifford.
No, I was just wondering if you looked at the sample project, sir.
Yeah. We're actually going to open it. I want to just peek into it while we talk. But yeah,
okay.
Mm-hmm.
I just want, you know,
yeah, go ahead,
I know how
Russell.
you think.
Okay, sir. So, sir, for the rest of the services, I know most of the industry, especially in Jamaica, they use CAD.
Mm-hmm.
So for like plumbing, HVAC, they use AutoCAD MEP.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's easier for them, but a lot of them are transitioning to Revit.
Yes, they're
with
trying.
the whole BIM thing, everybody can work in the same file at the same time, you know, so it makes it a lot easier.
That is so. That is true. Exactly. But I'm telling you, overall, where is this folder again? Go back home. Yeah. Let me open structural. Yes. Yes. Okay, fine. Right. So now you guys have been born into, you exist in the realm of this transition that is happening, right? And I think I might have said this already, and I think I'm going to end up saying this to you next year when I see you in BIM, I believe. But, you know, if I should be a geologist and paint, what time is it? Okay, I want to make sure I stay on time, right? And I paint the history of this whole thing. Of course, there were hand drawings, right? And then we kind of, oops, let me just use the shortcut here. And then we went into CAD drawings. And now we're gone into BIM drawings. And then we're going into, I don't know. Lord knows what is in store for us. Maybe it has something to do with AI. I don't know. So
AI, sir.
you're
AI.
right. So, oh, guess what, guys? In fourth year, we're going to do AI stuff. So yeah. Anyway, let's continue. So, can I get a arrow here? Right. So for me, I kind of came in here, like right about here. Right. It was after World War II. You understand? I know, but you guys are like here. And I'm going to localize it to Jamaica because different countries are on different places of this scale, right? So you notice I'm like right at the edge, like right on the edge of CAD. Like that is when I came into this industry, right? And you guys are like not even on the edge. You're actually, especially in Jamaica, we're like a little ways from the edge, fortunately and unfortunately. I don't know how to look on it, right? Some of your lecturers came in here at the beginning of World War One, right? Right? And some came in the middle and so forth. But we're going to focus on these two because these two here is important. So this is, let's see, Ryan. And this is AS3. Now, I consider myself lucky because I was in that phase of, oh, I'm learning this thing, but there's this other thing that's coming up. So like I'm like in the middle of both these phases, but I was closer to CAD because CAD was pretty much in mainstream. Now this journey that takes place here is the journey I made. So I made this journey from here to here, and that is me. Now you guys are here. You guys are already starting in, if I should put a circle of influence here. Can't I draw this in the center? Okay, fine. Let's make this a dash line and let's make it gray and smaller. Yeah, so if I draw a circle of influence around BIM, you guys are within the circle. You guys are being sucked towards BIM, right? And trust me, there are probably some places that exist, maybe Japan, and they're like here. They're like in this zone. Why is it not copying as a arrow? I don't know. Anyway, oh, I think I have to change this to arrow. Okay. Oh wow, you're backwards now. That's great. Arrow. Right. I'm going to say other places. I don't know where. You know, they're already here. They have already moved beyond BIM. Like when you watch the videos on Autodesk website and you do all of these things, there's going to be, you know, you will see people talking about augmented reality, AI, blah, 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 blah. That is like going now beyond BIM. But in Jamaica or in the Caribbean or in your region, you guys are here. And you guys need to make the trip to here. Like this is where you need to be. You guys need to be here. And I'm going to put that in a dash line because you guys are not there yet. So I'm going to say need to be here. Let's make that gray, maybe. And let's make this gray. Right. So you guys need to be here. So your mission is to go from here to here, preferably within your lifetime. Like, this is a big scale, guys. Like, here to here, like, this is when I was in school, and yeah, I took this journey. I am somewhere within the realm of BIM. On the scale, I would call myself intermediate, right? I wouldn't call myself an expert, but intermediate. I specialize in visualizations, which includes BIM, right? But you have persons that specialize in BIM itself, which includes so many other things. So I'm just drawing this scale for you that you guys know that you need to reach here. And in order to reach here, you need to, all of this, where is this? I'm gonna just highlight all of this here. Because it links back to this, right? Which is, there we go. You know what? I like these better. I'm sorry, I'm just obsessed with being neat with these arrows. Anyway, right. So you guys need to be here in order for you to travel from where you are now into this phase. All right. So I want to jump into the drawing, but I just need to spend some time. I just want to just show you a little bit of just the vastness of BIM, right? So this is the architectural BIM drawings, right? And without going into too much, this interface is probably too small for you. Can you guys see the interface? Can you see the text?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's probably it looks almost small for me. Yeah, and yeah, we're gonna go into the interface a little bit, but pretty much, these are the different floor plans, and over here is where you go to navigate the floor plans. So this entire project, they finally updated the sample project, guys. Like, they had the same sample project for years in Revit, and they finally updated it. Yay! So of course they updated it to something that's like, whoa. So when you go to your floor plans, you know, all of the stuff you see in here is architectural. These are things that you guys recognize. You recognize things like section lines, grid lines, stairs, furniture layouts, accessibility for handicap. These are all things that you're going to be discussing in your design studio, things that you learn throughout the years of architecture, all recognizable to you. If we look into the elevations, let's look at this building is between two buildings, so the proper elevation to look at is this one, right? You know, and we talk about elevations, and we have things like when you show the window type, and this particular model is interesting because they have all these custom things that was modeled. That's just crazy. And look at these things here. All right. Anyway, so yeah, this is your elevations, and also I'm gonna just bring up one of the sections. Let's look at one of the sections here. Right, this is also one of the sections. These are things, and maybe we can't see it so lovely here. Oh, of course, these drawings are locked to a view template, but don't worry, we're going to go into those eventually. But this is all recognizable stuff. Now, on the other hand, the structural side of this This is a totally different industry. And if you look on the structural plan here, now these are things we don't recognize, right? We're talking about I-beams, we're talking about whether it's W flange or I flange, we're talking, you know, we have all of these things here. Like this is a whole nother world that exists within Revit. And if we look at even structurally, sometimes they don't even need to do sections like what we do sections in architecture. It's mainly a lot of plans, but they also do detailing. Here we go. Right, you know, like these kind of things. So Revit is also used to do this. And then there's a whole nother set on plumbing and HVAC that I don't think we have the time to go in. But I just want to kind of paint this picture for you that we're only taking this slice out of the cake. Everybody here is using the same software, the same interface, but we're only going to focus on this slice of the cake. And I want to make sure, guys, that while you're in architecture, and especially if you're using Revit, especially in architecture school, that you don't slide into the rabbit hole of these other areas. Right? If you're doing your design studio and you need to represent some kind of structure, you don't need to but you don't need to venture necessarily into the structural side of Revit. Right? Because that is going to lead you down a rabbit hole of things that you need to know in depth if you do structures for a living. All right? So we're going to stick into the architectural realm. All right, so that is kind of your broad intro into the program. All right, so we're going to close all of these drawings. Now, I do want to say a disclaimer, right? Like I teach pretty much all the computing courses, and I hopscotch between them year after year. So for example, last year I didn't do 3D modeling, maybe 2 years before I did it. Sometimes I do guest lectures in other courses. I'm saying that to say that my knowledge of Revit might be a little rusty because the last time I did this course was 3 years ago. And most of the projects that I'm working on architecturally now is actually in ArchiCAD, right? So that is my new journey that I'm personally taking, right? So, you know, I'm just a disclaimer as I warm myself back up to Revit, you know. But there's a saying that says if you don't use it, you lose it. So, yeah, I'm just putting that disclaimer out there as I warm back up myself to Revit. All right. Don't be surprised if you ask me something and I'm like, darn it, I don't remember. Even though I've done like a full set of drawings a couple of times. Hey, that's just how the nature of life is. All right. So I want you guys to open up your Revit so we can get going. Is anybody here using 2021 Revit? Anything later than 2022? Una, what are you using?
2024.
24? Okay. So, Pringle, you're using 21?
2023, sir.
Oh, yeah, man. You're good. All right. If for example, you're using Revit and you're wondering why it is black, it's because I'm using 24, which finally had a dark theme. I don't know why, but I like when I open a program for the first time, I look if it has dark mode because I don't know. I just really like dark mode. Any dark mode fans here? Anybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, definitely.
Exactly. So when Revit was getting dark mode, I'm like, yes, finally. Yeah. I know I might be weird. Anyway, Let me see. You can turn it off. Because I think everybody here, Rivet is pretty normal. So, do I even remember where it is? User interface. You know what? I'll change this later. I'll change it later. All right, guys. So I want you to go to new. Now, when you go to new in 2024, 2024 just has one template for all industries. But I think if you're using 22, I think it was from 23 that did this. I don't remember. But from 22 and down, you would see architecture, engineering, that kind of stuff. Now, it doesn't really matter which one you pick, especially if you're in 2024, because you're only going to see these. Can I zoom? There we go. I'm just checking my zoom to see that it works. Are you guys seeing this bigger on your screen?
Yes.
All right, cool.
Yes.
Good, good, good. By the way, to zoom is Windows key and plus. That's a shortcut. All right, so we're going to use metric, multidiscipline. If you're using the older of it, you're going to use metric architectural. Do not start with a blank template, please. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. You're giving yourself a whole bag of work. All right. If your templates are missing, you can get them back. I mean, I would just ask my classmate, but if you want, you can get them back. Crap, I don't remember where you get them back. If they're missing, I will send the link. But you can just type in Revit content. You will get the content, but I don't think you're going to get the templates. So if you have your templates missing, just let me know. All right. All right. So let's get going. So we're going to choose multidiscipline. And I'm going to change the scale of my screen because I want you guys to be able to see it clearly. There we go. All right. Cool. Antonio, how is that? Is that view better? Can you see it nice and clear now?
I mean, not for me, not really. Kinda. I can't see the bottom right corners-ish.
It's bigger. Oh, it's looking fuzzy for you.
Yeah, a little bit. That too.
Right. So I'm using optimize mode in Zoom. So that will make it move smooth. But if it will lower the quality depending on your internet connection. I am going to change optimize to, I'm going to turn it off. So now it should be clear, but it will be slow for those of you that have a slower internet connection. All right, now when you open Revit, 2024 looks like this. 2022, it has the same things, but it looks a little different, right? Now, we're not going to go too much in the user interface for Revit. As I said, it is a whole universe that has many universes, as we saw earlier, right? So we are going to kind of stick to the golden path of what we want to achieve. And if we go back here, remember what we want to do, we want to get our sketch into a state that we can start to model. But before we do that, we want to refine it. And we want to do that in a way that is not, we don't want to hamper the design process and add too much friction because we're trying to learn where stuff is. So with that said, the main things you need to know, just a reminder, this is your ribbon up top. You know this already. At the top, with the default setup, at the top left is your properties, meaning anything you click on. If I click on this line, these are the properties of the line, and it's called a reference plane. If I click on this, this is the outline, I think. Yeah. This is the architectural plan, the drawing, the plan view. If I click on this symbol here, then these are the properties of this symbol. So anything you click on, the properties for that thing is up here. Down here is where you go to navigate the drawing, right? So to make this easy, I'm going to make everything small. And I'm going to drag this out and put it over here because I'm using a smaller screen and I want you guys to be able to see it clearly. So this is where you navigate the project. So in Revit, a project is made up of everything, the stars and the universes and everything. And this is how you navigate that universe. So for example, if I ask you how you navigate Earth, you would say, oh, well, Earth is divided into countries and the countries are divided into states or whatever, or capital, parishes or whatever. And then it's divided into towns and then you have streets. So that's how you would explain if I ask you how you navigate Earth. So this is how you navigate Revit. Now, the main thing we're going to concentrate on is views. And under views, I'm going to make this smaller. If you're using 2024, it is kind of all encompassing. But if you're using 2022 now, you will only see architectural. You would only get this category alone. So I'm just going to focus on this category. And within this category, there are subcategories that's called floor plans and ceiling plan, elevations. And most of this is standard and you don't need to change it. As a matter of fact, Revit makes it hard to change these. But anyway. And when you open floor plan, you see like different levels, right? So this is architectural floor plan, this is site plan, and so forth and so forth. Now, we are going to go to coordination. I know that's a bit weird, but that is where we're going to go. And when we go to coordination, and then we go to floor plan, no. Oh, we haven't created it yet. Okay, right. So coordination category is a term used in BIM. It is simply, coordination means like a traffic police that's in the middle of a four-way intersection. And they're saying, okay, you guys come, okay, stop, you guys come across. And that is what coordination in BIM. And there's actually a role for this called a BIM manager or BIM. You actually have BIM manager that's separate from BIM coordinator, right? And I won't go into the details of that, but just know that coordination has to do with where all the drawings intersect. So remember when we spoke about this, where you have the different industries, so they all intersect through coordination. You know, structural coordinating with electrical coordinating with whatever. Yeah. So now the reason I introduce you to this is that you guys will use these two categories the most, architectural and coordination. All right. Because you can coordinate not just with other industries like electrical, mechanical, plumbing, you can coordinate with other architectural as well. So for example, Zachary, you might be doing the ground floor, but then, for example, Ned would be doing the elevations. You get what I'm saying? You're coordinating with each other, so that you're gonna use some of the features of coordination. Right. All right. So now, what we want to do is we want to take our sketch that we did, and we want to bring it into Revit view and start to refining it. Now we're not going to refine it in 3D where we're dealing with walls and all that. We're going to refine it using 2D. So to do that, you're going to come up the top, you're going to click on Come on, brain, catch up. You're gonna click on views and you're gonna create a new view. Where is it? Oh, so guess what happened, guys? If you are using Revit and you make the interface smaller, your icons are going to look different. So you're going to notice that some of my icons look a little different from yours, and that is because it's compressed. So for example, if I make my Revit window even smaller, notice that my ribbon changes. And if I make it even smaller, it adjusts. So if you can't find something, it's perfectly normal because maybe you're used to having this big icon here for roof, but as soon as you make the program, like so small, there we go, then you realize that your roof icon has turned into this little teeny icon right here. All right, Javin, you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. So we're going to head over to view and you're going to look in your arrangement for drafting views. And we're going to go to drafting view and we're going to create a new drafting view. And we're going to call this concept. No, or maybe I'll call it sketch. Concept sketch. Right. And I'm going to choose OK. Now, I want you to notice what happened is that let's put this over here. Right. Notice that you got a new drafting view right here. Let's make this smaller, make this red, and let's fill it with a yellow semi-transparent. Yeah. So notice you got a new drafting view here, and it automatically went under coordination. So, if I don't remember what it will do in 2022, maybe I need to have both up so that I can remember what will happen. Anybody have 2022 using? Andrew, yeah. Where does your drafting view go?
I was just asking, what scale should we do?
Oh, 1 to 1.
The drafting view?
1 to 1, 1 to 1.
So I didn't see how it is the drafting view.
Right. So to go there, we're going to go to view, and then we're going to go to drafting view. By the way, guys, as you use Revit, you're going to realize that because the program is so massive, it's very easy to forget where stuff is. And whenever you get lost, just think, what am I trying to do? And hopefully it will fall under one of these categories. So I want to create a new view because these on the right-hand sides are views. So you would see under view. So yeah. So I'm going to say new drafting view. And it's going to create this blank paper here. All right. Now the drafting view is like a sandbox. It's like it is not connected to the rest of your drawing. It is just an area that you can draw and sketch. All right. Who is AutoCAD fans here? That would be Spooner, Russell. Who else is AutoCAD fans? Andrew, Dominique, Samantha. Nobody else?
Yeah, I used to use AutoCAD all the time, but Revit this has everything. Like you draw one thing and you can get everything from it.
True. True. Who was I talking to? I was Shade, are you here? I'd called your name earlier. No? I know Shade not wake yet. What about Ryan? What are you doing, Ryan?
So what's the question? If I are AutoCAD fan?
Yeah, are you an AutoCAD fan?
Not anymore.
That is a regular question. Now, the thing is, even though some people are not AutoCAD fans, they still rely on AutoCAD for drafting. And you'll even hear some lecturers say this where they say, well, you know, Revit has the fancy tools and whatever. But if you need to do drafting, yeah, good old AutoCAD with their line tool and extend and trim and all of these guys, you know, that's what people say. And I want to throw out a challenge to the AutoCAD fans here for drafting, not for like modeling and stuff, because obviously Revit is better for modeling. But for those of you that do drafting, or maybe you rely on drafting. So for example, if you need to do up a quick detail and section, you go to AutoCAD and do it. I want to, right, use it to refine sketches, right? I saw that, Andrew. So I want to challenge you today, right? Through this checkpoint, you are going to be required to refine your sketch using the drafting tools in Revit. And I challenge you, do I dare say that they're better than AutoCAD? Did I blaspheme? Nobody didn't roll their eyes like, no way, sir, no way. No way. So I came to this realization during my journey. Remember, I showed you guys this journey where I kind of went from here, where I was just outside of here, and began my journey towards BIM. And then I realized, oh crap, BIM can really do drafting as well. Do I dare say even better? So anyway, so now to get drawings into Revit, we're gonna go to insert, because we're trying to insert a drawing. And then you're going to see all these different methods of inserting drawings up here, right? So I'm going to stick this one here as well. And what type of drawing, what type of content are we trying to insert? Well, for me, I want to insert an image. And chances are most of us probably want to insert an image because we did a physical drawing of our concept. Now, some of us here did a vector sketch. Anybody did their concept in like Illustrator or what's the iPad app called again? What's it called again? Remind me.
Procreate.
Oh, I didn't hear Riley.
Procreate.
Nope. Hold on. There's something wrong with my. Oh, hold on. I ran out of battery. I think I ran out of battery. All right. Let me see. Okay, Riley, repeat what you said.
I was saying Procreate.
Procreate, right. I don't think Procreate does. When you export from Procreate, it's a JPEG, right?
Yes, you can.
Right. So that would still fall on the image. If anybody does their concept in Illustrator, Then you can export from Illustrator as a DWG or as a PDF. So you have DWG here for CAD, you have PDF here. Actually, I'm gonna go to import image, not link image for now. All right, guys, so these are the types of import that you will probably be doing. So I'm gonna go over to import image. Oh, first I need an image. So I am just gonna take a snip of my drawings here. I think I will do different snips. So I'm gonna snip this. Where is it? Go. Okay, I'm gonna use the snip tool. So I'm gonna press the Windows key and type snip. Here we go. It looks something like this. And I'm gonna choose snip. I'm gonna grab this guy here. All right. All right. What time is it? Okay. We got like an hour. Okay. That's not bad. Who knows? Maybe we'll be out before an hour. All right. So I'm going to save this. And I'm going to just save it to my desktop. And I'm going to call it elevations. You guys need to save it somewhere like reasonable because you need to submit your sketches as one file and then submit your schematic plan as another file. So I'm going to go to desktop and I'm going to create a folder and call it checkpoint 1. All right. And I'm going to call this elevation. I'm going to save it as a JPEG. All right. Then I'm going to go again. Bam. I'm going to save this. And I'm going to call this a section. I'm going to do the same here. Save. Oops. Hold on. I marked it there. Let's save. All right. Ooh. Let's save this as a plan. All right. Then let's do the upper floor as well. I'm going to say L1 plan and L2 plan. All right, guys. Oh, wait. I need my... I don't really need this, but I'm just going to grab it anyway. Notice that I'm grabbing them as separate items. I don't want to grab it as one image because I want some flexibility with how I stick it on my drafting sheet. Call that site plan. And hey, while I'm at it, let me grab my inspirational images that I used. This one is optional. All right. Now I'm going to insert those images. Now I could go this is the official way. I can go to import image or I can drag it. I'm going to go to import image just to show you checkpoint 1. I hate when I can't select everything one time. Anyway, I'm going to insert the plan. Bam. There goes my plan. Now, if I wanted to, I could Oh, this is so tiny. There we go. Everybody okay? Are we chilling? Gordon, are you chilling?
Yes, sir. Chilling right now, sir.
All right, cool. All right. All right, so I'm gonna drag in my site plan. Okay, I'm gonna use this feature I have here to remain on top. There we go. All right, section. So now I'm just dragging. Oh, I have this one already. Elevation. Yeah. All right. Now, this interface that you are in now, which is called your drafting view, is kind of like Photoshop is Illustrator. No, more Illustrator. If you're an Illustrator fan, kind of, it's just a page that you can draw stuff on. It's almost like a mini AutoCAD inside of Revit, where you can draw freely without the rules and regulations of an AEC drawing. All right. So now we can start to draw things to scale. So this is 20 foot. So what you notice is that if I go to architecture here, all of my architecture tools are blanked out. And the reason for that is you don't need these 3D tools if you are in a drafting view, which is a good thing because we don't want to be worrying about roof tool, window tool, and all of that jazz. So we're going to head over to annotations, and annotations is where the party is at for us, at least for this checkpoint. All right. So we need to remember that the party is at annotations. How am I going? I'm going to highlight this here like this, and then I'm going to highlight this here like. Well, everything here is annotations, actually. Yeah. All right, guys. So this is where we're at. So, no, everything. No, annotate. This is like AutoCAD, kinda. So if we want to draw a line, we're going to use the detail line tool. Remember, the icon might look different on your screen because my screen is like really tiny. So I'm going to use annotate here, and I can draw like 20 feet, 6.3 meters. Okay. What's that? Oh, is that what? I wasn't hearing you because you're a little muffled. By the way, guys, if you do draw in, if you're like I exist in the world between imperial and metric just because of how I came into the industry. You guys probably are more metric. But when I came in, we were still fighting over whether things should be imperial or metric. So I exist in both. So I always have my handy dandy good old Windows calculator, which is here. And of course, you can just switch this to length. And you can have this. Come on. You can just have this whenever you need to do any conversions from feet to millimeters or meters. Let's use millimeters. All right, there you go. So 20 feet. I just call it 6 meters. All right, so I'm going to put this over here. All right, now before we even go further, notice that we are in millimeters. Now we don't need to change units, but just in case you want to, we'll deal with that next time. We're just focusing on the drawing. So I'm going to say 6,000. And that is actually the length of my building here. Gifford.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
You can just type 3 FT or
Exactly.
20 FT.
Thank
Yeah.
you for reminding me of that. Great tip, guys. So you don't even have to use the calculator. You can just type it. As a matter of fact, you can actually type 3 plus 3. Damn. Oh, you have to put equal. Yeah.
That's equal.
Yeah, there you go. And you get the, yeah, you can like type out formulas and stuff like that. So yes, thank you for reminding me. And guys, please remember my disclaimer earlier. Who are the Revit experts here? We have Gifford, we have Russell. Who else are the Revit? Who else are my co-lecturers for this course?
Sir, Gifford is your person, you know, sir. The man they born in everything, you know, sir.
Yeah, man, but I know that it's going to take the village for us to get through. So please, guys, help to refresh my memory as well. All right. Okay, so now have you noticed when you draw in Revit, you get these temporary dimensions, which are the greatest thing ever in the history of architectural drawings, right? Like every program should have this. And yeah, that's just the way it should be. Anyway, so we're going to go to detail line, and we're going to kind of map out the rest of the drawing. If I look here, this says this should be another 6,000. So I'm going to just put 6,000. There we go. Then I'm going to scale this. So I'm just going to grab this drawing, grab the corners like I was using Photoshop or something, and just scale it up. All right, then if I want to be precise, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, when you're scaling a drawing, let me move these out of the way. All right, you see the ease at which I can just move stuff around. It's like a big canvas. This is why I want you guys to have a drafting view, because you're not worried about page boundaries and, you know, all of the view settings and am I on the right view setting when I'm doing, no, this is just draw. All right. All right, so you know what? Before I go any further, I'm going to save because, yeah, things happen. Come on. There we go. So I'm going to save, and I suggest you guys do the same. Please, guys, for the love of all things holy, when you're saving, save as a project, not as a project template. All right? This has caught me many a times. All right? Make sure you choose project, not project template. Like, don't just go to the R and click save. No. I don't know why they have these things so big. Anyway, so go to save as project, and I'm going to save my project on the desktop. Here we go. Yes, desktop. Checkpoint 1. And I'm going to call this sketch. There we go. Now, by default, Revit will save up to 10 backup files in that folder. So if you see a bunch of files called Sketch 01, Sketch 02, Sketch 03, it's just Revit saving backup files, and you can edit that in the settings if you want, but that's a good thing. All right, so let's scale our sketch now. So if you're like me and you have your sketch, what you're going to do is you're going to find a reference point, and you're going to use the longest side of your sketch to scale your drawing. Always use the longest side. All right. Now remember, this drawing might not be to scale because we just sketched it, but that's perfectly fine. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this by just dragging it. Now to get it more precise, even though, you know, this is a big blob of like pixels, but if you want it to be more precise, what you're going to do is go to the move tool. I'm going to show you the long way first, and then for those of you who know the short way, just use the shortcut. So anything you click on in Revit, the ribbon will adapt to what you click on. So if I click on a line, the ribbon will adapt to tools that are relevant to the line. If I click on an image, the relevant block, the tools will adapt to whatever is relevant to the image. Additionally, if I click on a line over here, it's going to show me the properties of a line. So what you find out is that if I should do a screenshot here, stick another one here, what you will find is that this zone up top and this zone here are adaptable. Adaptable to the tools, to the object that is selected. All right. So, yeah. There you go. Right. All right, let's head back. Remember, guys, anything you miss, you can just jump in the recording. But it's always good to pay attention because I don't upload the recording same time. So yeah. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on the drawing and notice my tools.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
For the floor plan, what are the exterior dimensions again?
It is 20 by 20.
Oh, okay.
20 feet by 20 feet or 6 meters by 6 meters. Right. All right, so I'm going to click on the drawing, then I'm going to go over to move. Then, whenever you click on a tool, I want you to keep an eye down here on your status bar, right? Now, a lot of people totally ignore this, including myself. Let's take a step down here. All right, and I'm going to call this one. Let's go over here. That's down here. That's your status bar. Now, I'll tell you a secret, guys. This is not unique to Revit. I'm going to put a note here saying, don't ignore the status bar. Right? And any program you use, who is the Photoshop queens and kings in the class? Photoshop kings and queens, Riz. Come on, I know there's a few Photoshop kings and queens. All right, all of the other students that know who is the Photoshop kings or queens, call them out.
Andrew, sir.
Ah, yeah, man. I'll give you away, Andrew.
No, sir. So long as just playing, sir. That's not true.
Anyway,
So Rachel, let's get that Photoshop.
All right, cool. Don't worry, I'm not calling on you to give you extra work. I'm just saying that whether you're in Photoshop or if you are in Explorer, I'm bring up Explorer here. There we go. Lower left, it's typical that you get status updates. Things like file size, number of items selected. Same thing in Photoshop. You get like image size, Illustrator, same thing in Revit. Keep an eye down here whenever you click on something. All right. So I click on this right here. And then I click the move tool. And notice it says click to enter the move start point. So I'm going to click here. And then it says click to enter the move endpoint. And I'm going to click here. All right. Because a lot of us, as I said, don't ignore this, especially if you just like learning to use Revit. This helps you out a ton. All right. All right. So you can see this does stop short of here. So what I want to do now is I want to make sure I have this selected, and I'm going to go to scale. And I'm going to now select my drawing length, my reference length. So I'm going to start from here. Oops. Crap, I missed. Let me go again. Select scale. I'm going to start from here. And then I'm going to select here. Now, if you notice, when you're moving the mouse in Revit, it might feel snappy. And guess what? This is what some people actually complain about for people who are moving from CAD, because CAD lets you move like 6.5678 meters. You get what I'm saying? It will let you move by very tiny increments, which I used to think was a good thing, but that's a bad thing, right? But just in case, like you're trying to snap to a point and it's snapping, it's not giving you the right snap, just zoom in and you will get smaller snapping points. All right. So remember that. Also, for those of you who use like Photoshop and Illustrator, you can hold Shift and it will lock your thing straight. So I'm gonna come all the way here and I'm gonna click once. And now I need to move to the new length, which is going to be here. Bam. And now I have this scaled. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just close this up by grabbing another, where is it? Where is it? I go to annotate. Yes.
Detail.
Right, exactly. In the last office that I worked on, we used to refer to this as the Cylindian syndrome, right? But whenever we're in office and we're trying to get something done quick. Anybody knows Cylindian? I know she probably out of style now. Who is Cylindian? Anybody?
Sir, I've popular saying.
I think every Jamaican should know who that is.
Exactly, right? From high school days, right? They still play it in the buses. Anyway, so of course, one of our famous songs is It's All Coming Back to Me Now, right? So that's why in our office, it was like a little internal joke. Like we're trying to remember something. And we're like, you're having a Cylindian syndrome. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's what I'm experiencing now. It's coming back to me slowly, right? But still rusty. All right, so I'm going to click here and then I'm going to go up here and click. And I'm just going to grab the midpoint here because that's where I was. And now I don't even have to look at any measurements. I'm just like drawing and I can just stick this over here because I really don't need it anymore, kind of. And it's almost like what I'm doing is drawing this over, but to scale. Now, you don't need to try and trace it because, well, let me just speak for myself. My scaling was maybe quite horrible in doing this sketch. So I'm not going to try I need to decide on what I'm going to trace and what I'm not going to trace. So for example, let's say from a relative scale point, oh, by the way, you can use your arrow keys to nudge the drawing, which is super helpful, especially if you're coming from Photoshop or those programs. Like, I know I want this to be my opening, so I'm just going to demarcate my opening there. I'm not going to get hung up on all the architectural symbols, right? You know why I can't remember where to go for detail line? Because I don't normally use the ribbon, I use shortcuts, but we are not going to flood our minds with shortcuts just yet. We're going to get used to the ribbon and then we go from there. So I had my entrance there and I had my stairs somewhere here. And I'm just sketching, like I'm just like, you know, sketching. So I'm gonna put this over here and I'm going to go to insert. Now I want to get a box. So I could go to annotate. When I go to detail line, I could draw a box if I wanted to, right? But what I want to notice is that you have these tools over here, which is essentially mini AutoCAD, right? So I'm going to click the rectangle tool and voila, I have a rectangle. Once I draw the rectangle though, it's going to be independent lines. But oh gosh, I'm telling you guys, like when I first discovered Revit, this was one of those things that I loved with that. It made me thought back to AutoCAD, like Autodesk was just cruel for not having some of these tools in AutoCAD. But like if I adjust this line, it will auto adjust these other lines because of what is called, oh my goodness, I forgot. What's the word? Russell, what's the word, Russell? It's a C word.
Wait, sorry, yeah, I didn't hear anything you just said. Can you repeat that for me?
Right. When I adjust this line, all the other lines are have stick to it because of what is constraints. All right, Javin, exactly. And in Revit, you have constraints. Now, we're not going to dive into that just yet, but just know that it's on by default. So, for example, if I grab this point here and move it, it's not connected. It's like disconnected. But if I move it back like that and then move the line, it's connected. I mean, you have no idea, guys. Coming from AutoCAD, I mean, legacy AutoCAD, where everything was independent lines, this was like, yeah, chills. So anyway, this makes drawing way easier. And this is one of the reasons why I say it's even easier to draft in Revit than AutoCAD. And additionally, when you adjust these lines, you get these dimensions. So if I was like, you know, trying to decide on how big is my table, then I can just do what, was it Andrew that reminded me of? And let's say that I think about tables in feet. And I say, okay, I want the table to be 6 feet. I just write 6 FT. I just click in here and write 6 FT. Bam, I have 6 feet. And then it automatically tells me, oh crap, 6 feet can't work because this is so small. Then I realized that I might have to make it smaller. And then, you know, I'm just saying, guys, when you design like this is, it is still beneficial for in the design phase for you to just work with very minimal tools, not too much highfalutin tools, but the simple line and dimensions and stuff like that, because it just makes the drawing process so simple. So what I want you guys to do at the end of the day is I want you to have almost like a traditional drawing done. So for example, I'm going to use the offset tool, which is this tool, right? Oops, I'm going to click on this line and then click offset. And when I click offset, oh gosh, let me tell you something, guys. Do not forget this menu. I still forget this menu to this day, but in Revit, whenever you click on a tool, you get this little menu that's in between your ribbon and your properties, right? And they have certain tools that's related to other tools. So for example, in this case, when you click on the annotate tool, it brings up these options here. Here we go. It brings up these options here that is related to the offset tool. So don't forget that, guys. All right. So so I'm going to make this offset 150 millimeters. Press enter. And now when I hover, notice I get this dash line that gives me an idea that, okay, do I want to offset on this side or that side? So here, here, here. You know what I mean? You know, this is like you're drawing traditional CAD, but way faster. As a matter of fact, I challenged one of my friends back in the day when I was just like raving about Revit, that I bet you I can draw this faster than how you would draw it in CAD, and they didn't believe me, and I just whooped their ass. Yeah, cool. So anyway, now you want to close these up. So you want to use your trim extend tool, and I'm going to click here, and I just click this and that and this and that, and I'm going to do this and that and that and this. All right, now I want to trim in here. I'm going to choose the, oh crap, I forgot. Split. Is it split, guys? I don't remember. I think it's split.
Yes, it's split. You have two types.
Right. So I believe I can choose this edge and that. No, sorry, that's the other split. Okay. Yes. Cylindian, remember, Cylindian, it's coming back. All right. So I'm going to select this line here and this line here. And you know what? I'm just going to click. Yeah. And then I'm going to delete in there and I'm just going to close it up. I'm sure there was a faster way, but I'm sorry, guys. It don't reach back yet. Then maybe I'm going to adjust these guys here. I will just drag this down like I'm in Illustrator or something. Just drag it across. All right. Don't forget to save. All right. And if I'm wondering, hold on, can this space work here? You see, this is when you start to ask yourself these questions. Like, you know, so you click on this, you get a dimension for this, and you say, boy, that's like shorter than 2 feet. So it needs to be like here. And then you can ask yourself, can this width work? And like, this need to be like maybe 900. So this need to be like here. You don't even have to be like super precise. Like it has to be 900. Just, you know, just, yeah. And I'm going to adjust this like that. Then I'm going to give some rough dimensions. So I'm going to like, now to do dimensions, I'm going to go, I can click the little dimension icon up here, or I can go to annotate, and here's dimensions over here. If I want to do an angled dimension, I choose aligned. I'll just use a straight one. So, hold on, this one, yeah. All right, and I'm going to just do some overall dimensions. If I want to increase the size of my dimension because of the scale of the drawing, it's very tiny. I would just need to go to properties for now. And hopefully I have, man, I don't have a big enough scale. Because remember, we're drawing at 1:1. So if we put this at like 1:100, then this becomes bigger. So by the way, you can just switch this up, guys. It doesn't matter if you switch from 1:1 or 1:100. When you draw a line that is 1 foot, it's always 1 foot, or 600 millimeters is always 600 millimeters. So we can just change this on the fly. All right. Now you are required to do, let's look on the handout. Handout. Coursework. Major project. Hold on, didn't I put it? I did update the website, of course. So it is on the website. All right, let's go to the class website. PD modeling. Start project. There we go. Now on the handout, it kind of gives you an example of what you should produce. So you're giving me a floor plan and an elevation and a section, right? Floor plan and section as 2D drafted. Now don't worry about fitting it on a sheet, because all you have to do when you finish your drawing is just go to file and don't worry about putting it on sheets and all that stuff, and just go to print. And I'm going to print it to a PDF. Hopefully you should have either the Microsoft PDF installed or Qt PDF. And I am going to do the visible portion of the current view, or I can do the current window. Let me preview that. That's what it looks like. And this is fine. Like I don't need nothing else. Don't worry. Well, I need when you do this, I need to have your name and ID number. It needs to be on the sheet. So you need to insert text. By the way, I didn't show you that. It's under annotate and text. So I just pop in here and I'm going to write, I don't know, viewing area, I guess. All right. Now that I'm looking at this space looks kind of small. So yeah, that looks kind of small. So now, because I have this scale, what I'm going to do is maybe I'm going to drag these over. And look at this, guys. Look at this. Like the dimension changes with the, yeah, I'm excited about. I was excited about Revit. Still am. All right. So, guys, you're basically doing a classic 2D drawing. And specifically, I want it to be 2D. I don't want you guys to use the wall tool, window tool, none of this jazz. I want you to draw it with lines because this is what we're doing. We're taking a sketch, we're refining the sketch so that we can start modeling. And this is a good workflow for you guys to adapt, especially when you are working out your studio project and the rest of your workflow. All right, guys, let's talk some business.
So I can do a section. I can do a section instead of elevation.
It is a section. Look, remember, please, don't listen to me. I am lying to you. Listen to the handout. All right? Because I'm going to mark based on the handout. The handout says, you know what? I'm going to snip this here.
Yeah, do that.
But guys, the website is there. Please look. Yeah, as a matter of fact, you know what always happens? You notice I put this submit button right beside here. You know why? Because some students, when you go to submit, you'll be like, okay, I'm going to submit now. And they're like, oh, wait, I didn't know I was supposed to do a floor plan. That's, psychology. Yeah. You know that meme, the Eddie Murphy meme, when he does this thing and you're like, Anyway. So I'm going to put this here.
Sir.
Yeah.
So it's okay if your schematic design doesn't look exactly like your sketch anymore?
Well, if you draw a circle and then you draw a triangle, it's fine. These things happen.
No, I just asked because you said like certain spaces look too small. So
Yes,
what if I had a
that is-
room and I wanted to eliminate that room now because it's too small?
That is what should happen.
Okay.
That's exactly what should happen. This is why we do schematic drawings before, where we refine our sketches before we take it into the digital realm. And I want you to remember this exercise for life, because when you try to draw using AEC tools on top of a sketch, you are bound to run into trouble, because you're going to make new discoveries and you don't want to solve those discoveries when you're presented with so many tools. You want to solve those discoveries with just simple Stone Age lines.
Sir, also, I think I realized. So there's one floor plan, right? But the building says that it's 2 stories. So is it that you're just have one alone?
Yes, you can just do one. Yeah, because this handout was back in the day when we used to have one floor, but we don't have one floor anymore because you guys are doing a multi-floor studio project. So we want you to learn how to do stairs and all that stuff. So, but you only need to submit one floor plan, even though you have a 2-story building. Remember the motto, I'm trying to make your life easier. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I just want to verify that, yeah, man, cool. I just want to verify that you guys know how to do the work. Like, you don't have to show me, I just look and say, yep, you know how to do a floor plan. Move on.
Sir, quick question. How you scale the dimensions? Mine come kind of small on the
Right.
drawing.
So you scale the dimensions by changing your sheet size, your sheet scale. So to do that, you need to click on the sheet. And in this case, the sheet is any white space, literally. So you click on the white space and you will notice it says the drawing view 1 to 100. So I made mine 1 to 100. And that based on the default scale of the dimension at 1 to 100 scale sheet size, it's fine. Remember, guys, you can watch this video again if you need to know questions, if you need to track back on things I said. So I want us to have a little time for you guys to draw this, because your schematic drawings, your checkpoint 1 is due today, right? Meaning that we're doing this drawing in class and we have like half an hour to finish. You don't have to give me at the end of class, but you have to give me today. Yes, Javin.
No, sir, it's from the
Okay. Yes, Mohammed.
So you want the schematic drawings in CAD file or in the Revit?
PDF.
No, PDF, so it don't matter where you do it.
Well, no, we are going to use Revit for this process, and the reason for that is because we're going to use Revit to do the rest of it. So even though you might know how to use CAD, I would still say to use Revit to do the drawings. Because when we're done with this, we're going to copy it over into our 3D drawing to help us to do stuff.
Yeah.
So
Also, because the reason why I asked is because in the same 3D modeling major project handout, right? It would have said using CAD drafting.
Oh, right. Yes. It wasn't
Understand.
referring to it wasn't referring to CAD as in AutoCAD. It was really referring to
Let's just say
2D
drafting views, right? So okay, sir.
Right. Yeah. So thanks for that. I need to update the wording. So it really means 2D computer aided design. Because the truth is that, guys, we used to do this in CAD when CAD was a thing. But now we're doing it in Revit. So yeah. And who knows? We'll be doing it in something else in the next, I don't know, couple years, 10 years, I don't know. So yeah. The key thing is for it to be 2D, not 3D. That's why it said must not be 3D. It must be 2D drawings. All right.
Sir.
So,
One last question. Does it matter what kind of staircase it is or no? I know that seems like a tedious question, but like,
no,
if I just want to put it this.
Well,
So if I just want to put like a circular staircase on the outside, like.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. It can be other materials. Yeah. The building structure should be timber.
Okay.
So maybe if you have a steel can be mounted to timber, but like if you wanted to have like concrete, maybe the concrete would be a external stairs, so. All right, so I'm going to hang out.
When's the deadline?
Right, so the deadline is before tomorrow. You should submit checkpoint 1. Cause remember, you guys already did your schematic drawings already from last class. Everybody did finish it in class and just have it put on. Right? Cricket.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, so I want you guys to try to draw this in class. Like you can more than do this in the next half an hour, guys. You can more than do it. But for if any reason you have any technical difficulties or whatever, just hand it to me before the end of the day. All right. I would advise not to procrastinate. It is the kryptonite of CSA. But you guys knew that already. All right, so we're gonna chill and draw. All right. Remember, if you guys have any questions, I'm right here. So just, just shoot me a question. But I want everybody to aim to finish by the end of class, guys. Just submit your work and you don't have to think about me until Saturday again. All right?
Sir, check your chat, please.
I mean, okay, fine. If you really want to use like AutoCAD or a different program, I don't have a problem with it because I'm not collecting the AutoCAD file. So yes, you can use CAD. If you want to get Rivet on a Mac, call Mr. Campbell. He will help you out. Anybody remember the number? Can put it in the chat. Okay. Let me look for it. Sure, we can talk after class. Oh man, I just came in WhatsApp to get Mr. Campbell's number, and I'm already getting sidetracked. Right. Yeah, man. Morning. Miss Pearson. Morning. I feel like I'm a streamer responding to what is the chat? Cause I think that's how they do it, right? But instead of streaming a video game, I'm streaming Revit. I mean, people stream. That's the numbers. That's the number in the chat, guys. Mr. Neville Campbell. I think I was on Twitch the other day watching a stream of Unreal Engine. Not playing a game, but like using the program. Like this, there are dudes that are just working on project and they just stream it. I'm like, wow, people stream everything. All right. while you guys work on that project, I'm trying to refine some things with the with our schedule for the rest of the module. So I'm here if you guys need to ask me any questions.
Excuse me, sir.
What's up?
The form to submit this. It's asking for the PDF and the schematic revit file.
Oh, look like
Yeah, so the persons who want to do it in CAD can't really work, you know?
it's okay. It's fine.
You just submit the CAD file here.
Just submit the CAD file. That's fine.
Right.
Because what happens is that some lecturers would prefer other ones. And remember that, you know, different persons teach this module. So I'm actually going to modify this. And I'm going to request, I'm going to say it can be the Revit. I'm going to say the working file. That's fine. Yeah. Thanks for pointing that out. What's up?
Can we now be getting that have a class?
All right, so it's just about that time. Oh, is it a physical class that you guys have?
Well, yes, sir.
All right,
So I have
cool.
to now.
All right, I have one final announcement that I want to give you. This is save the best news for last, right? All right, so what I'm going to do is, let me stop here. Yeah. All right, guys. So we have come to the end of the class. So remember, you guys are going to submit that for me today, right? Guess what? I'm trying to work out the schedule for the presentations. And here's the plan, guys. I want each group to have 2 weeks to prepare, because I think 1 week might be a bit short if you because you have other stuff doing and all of that, right? So what we're going to do, I'm actually working out the schedule where every group, I want to give every group 2 weeks to present. So therefore, topic 1 and 2 would not present this Saturday, but next Saturday. Anybody here from topic 1 and 2?
Yes, sir. Andrew.
Right. And the other topic? Nobody? Andrew, you're topic 2?
I'm topic 1.
Topic 1. Anybody from topic 1? From topic 2? No?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Topic 2 with the
Right.
rendering.
Right. So what I'm going to, so you guys, you would not, I'm actually updating the schedule now because I want to give you 2 weeks, and I know it is, guys, like, I'm trying to give you time so that you can, at least in the first week, you can plan it out, and then in the next week you can, put your slides together or whatever, rather than one crazy week. Because as you know, in CSA you might have a crazy week. So that's what I want to try and do. What that would mean is that sometimes some topics we might have 2 presentations in one class, but I want to try to stagger it going forward. And that I'm trying to make it go up to week 10, but have everyone get 2 weeks to prepare. All right. Okay. So that was the announcement, guys. I will see you on Saturday. All right.
Mr. Williams.
Yeah.
I said, I'm not sure if I'm not sure one I've been assigned to a group as yet, but I'm not.
Oh, you're not assigned to a group as yet. All right. Well, don't worry. When you come to class on Saturday, we will do that. Because we already know what we're going to do in topic in this week already. All right.
All right, sir.
All right, guys. Hold on. Somebody wanted to speak to me. Who was that?
Gifford, sir. Gifford.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead. Okay, guys. You are free to go. All right. Gifford, you can talk to me straight, or you want to go in a
man, no problem, man. There's this Revit plugin, right? It's called Revit Environment.
Cool.
I don't know if you know.
I've never used that one. What does it do?
It's basically it's good for landscaping, right? Landscaping architecture. It's basically topo solids and topo surface and steroids, right? So, yeah. I contacted the providers for the software, and explaining that I'm a student and stuff. So I can get a license, a free license to use it.
Nice.
For other stuff, right? However, the license, And they need some official contact from the school, or rather CSA.
Oh, so that your student ID not enough.
Yeah, no. They need the school to reach out to them. So I guess they want to see us incorporated in the program and stuff. And I
Okay,
think
well, I
probably
mean,
they're good at it.
yeah, man. But they would need somebody like the head of school. You know.
Oh, them people.
Yeah, I don't think your lowly lecturer would be enough. I don't know. But I mean, if you want me to do an email, I can, and I can put my lecturer ID in the email, and I can say, you know, I can attach the module or whatever. So yeah, so that's oh, I haven't gotten my Zoom thing from UTech yet. That's why I haven't added you guys to the Zoom group, because this is my personal Zoom I'm using. So as soon as I get the UTech Zoom, I'll create the group so that we can send each other messages directly. But does so you can't send me emails to UTech email yet. I'm still waiting for it to be like sorted out. So you can send me to my personal email, which is the Creative Masters. I think you would have gotten an email from that email already. Right. So I just need the details of the or you can just paste in the chat if you have it there now.
No. I tell you what, I need to reach out back to them.
Right. Find out if they need from the head of school or your lecturer.
Are you right?
Yeah. No problem.
And then
no problem. No problem. And additionally, as I said, if you need any other assistance with software, reach out to Mr. Campbell. You know, right. So that is your other option if that route don't work out. But don't worry too much about the plugins because
that's for this class.
Right, because
no. It's for commercial works, other things.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, sir. Come on, yeah.
No problem. I'll see you on Saturday. Alexia, you are here.
Yes, sir. I have a question though. I had registered for class, but it's not showing up that I registered on the platform.
Oh, why is that now? Let's see. Let me see if I go to the oh, did I close the website? I totally did. Let's go to history. Computing.
Sir Dominic said he also wasn't seeing his name come up as well.
Yeah, you didn't see it come up in here. Remember, you can scroll this, you know. Oh, but you still don't see it when you scroll?
Yeah, sir, I scrolled. It's Alexia Williams, but I see Alex alone, so my name's not there.
And let me see. You went up here and you click that guy and choose the right module. And okay, I think maybe has something to do with. Make sure you're there, because I would need to. Your name would need to be there for me to share the. All right. This is third year. Oh, hold on, that's the wrong one. Where's computer? Ah, here we go. All right. Let me see if I see your name in the database. Williams. I don't see it. Yeah. Oh, hold on. There's many Williamses. Okay, hold on. Let me check. Yes, I see Alexia Williams here. So you did register. Indeed, you did. But why is it not showing? I see it here. Hmm. Oh, oh yes. Okay, okay. Yes. I see why. Totally my I need to paste your name in my class list. That's why. That's why. That's why. That's why. All right. So
Okay, sir.
yes, it should be there in you come on. Chrome just went out on me. Why? I don't know. Come on, Chrome. Oh, I see what happened. I accidentally clicked something. Okay. CDM. There we go. All right. When you refresh, you should be there.
I'll do it now and see.
Yeah. All right. I will see you on Saturday.
Okay, thank you, sir. Bye.
Bye. Hello, good morning.
Brian?
Oh, you doing? Mm-hmm.